The SpongeBob movie, Sponge on the Run, the junior novelization. Chapter 22, the last chapter. Patrick and SpongeBob, carrying Gary in his arms, sprinted through the confusing hallways of Poseidon's huge palace. The guards chased them. Gary! SpongeBob said joyfully. You're with me now! I'll never let anyone take you again! Meow! Gary said gratefully. Let's go, Patrick! SpongeBob urged. Faster! But Patrick spotted a buffet table covered in delicious food. He stopped out of breath, but he managed to gasp. Wow! He said. Running down the hall, SpongeBob looked back over his shoulder. Whoa! Patrick, what are you doing? Free food, Patrick said, sounding as though he'd been hypnotized. He loaded up a bucket with food. As the guards closed in on him, SpongeBob yanked him away just in time. They ran down the hallway, Patrick gnawing on a turkey leg. Grease from Patrick's food dripped onto the floor. When the guards reached the puddle of grease, they slipped and fell. Wham! Nice going, Patrick! SpongeBob cheered as he looked back at the fallen guards. Yeah, that was my plan all along, Patrick claimed. But the guards jumped right back up on their feet and took off, sliding down the hallway on their greasy boots as if they were skating on ice. They were coming at SpongeBob and Patrick even faster than before. They're gaining on us! SpongeBob cried. They're going to catch us! Bummer, Patrick said. But as they passed the side corridor, Mr. Krabs, Sandy, and Squidward zoomed into the hall in the supersonic Pattymobile. Vroom! Hi, Sandy! Mr. Krabs and Squidward! SpongeBob cried with delight. How did you get here? As you can see, we travel by Pattymobile, Mr. Krabs said. But never mind that now. Just keep running and leave those blasted guards to us. As SpongeBob and Patrick ran down the hallway, Mr. Krabs spun the Pattymobile around so its trunk was facing the rapidly approaching guards. Sandy pressed a button on the dashboard, and the rear pickle wheels rose up so the Pattymobile was level with the guards' faces. Wait for it, Squidward said, twisting around in his seat to see. Wait for it. Now! Sandy punched another button on the Pattymobile's control panel. Sploosh! Ketchup and mustard blasted out of the nozzles on the sides of the vehicle, shooting through the air and right into the guards' eyes. Splat! Splat! Splort! Sploop! Whoa! The guards howled. It hurts! It burns! Spicy! Ow! Spicy mustard! Mr. Krabs chuckled. Works every time. Blinded by the condiments, the guards slammed into the walls of the corridor, knocking themselves out. They lay in a big pile on the floor. Nighty-night, Squidward called to them, waving goodbye as Mr. Krabs lowered the back pickles, spun the Pattymobile around, and zipped down the hallway to pick up SpongeBob and Patrick. Thanks, Mr. Krabs! And Sandy? And Squidward? SpongeBob said as he climbed into the Pattymobile with Gary and Patrick. How can I ever repay you? Just come back to the Krusty Krab and whip up a fresh batch of Krabby Patties, Mr. Krabs said. Will do, SpongeBob agreed, laughing. But as they drove toward a palace exit, Gary let out a loud meow. SpongeBob looked concerned. Oh, what is it, Gary? Meow, 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 Gary explained. Got it, SpongeBob said. He turned to his friends. Gary says there's a dungeon full of snails here. We've got to free them too. Really? Squidward said. I didn't sign up for this. But Sandy said, You got it, SpongeBob. Gary, show us the way. With Gary directing, they drove straight to the snail dungeon. Sandy used one of her scientific tools to open the lock on the door, and they flung it open. Hundreds of snails crawled out, delighted to be liberated. Woohoo! SpongeBob whooped. Crawl! Crawl! You're free! Krabs steered the Paddymobile toward the exit, followed by the stampede of freed snails. They zoomed away from the lost city of Atlantic City, heading home to Bikini Bottom. As they left the city, King Poseidon ran out of his palace, shaking his fist at them. "Come back here!" he commanded. "I'm not done punishing you! I need my snail!" In a way, he got his wish. As he shouted at the retreating Paddymobile, the stampede of snails swarmed all over him, knocking him to the ground and leaving him trampled as they moved on. "Oh," he groaned. Not the end of the movie, though, in real life. When SpongeBob, Gary, and their friends got back home, their little town sparkled under the sun and swayed in the warm, gentle currents. And as his father had predicted, SpongeBob had gained new friends and memories from his adventure. A great treasure indeed. The end.